So what if you could build a steady, predictable stream of new donors online, but without a massive budget or a huge team? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down a really powerful 5-step system that does exactly that. Let's dive right in.
You know, if you're in the nonprofit world, does this feel painfully familiar? You're constantly out there, you're posting, you're sending emails, you're hoping for that big breakthrough. But that consistent support just always seems to be right over the horizon, just out of reach. Yeah, it's a story I hear all the time. A ton of effort goes in, but the results, they're kind of sporadic, totally unpredictable. And look, that cycle can absolutely drain your time, your energy, and even your morale. But what if there was a better way? And that right there brings us to the core idea. The old way, the one you see on the left, it just feels like this tangled mess of random effort, doesn't it? The big shift isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter. It's about trading all that chaos for a clear, repeatable system, like a straight line, that actually builds predictable growth. So let's walk through that system right now. Okay, so where do we even begin? We start with the single biggest mistake that most nonprofits make: trying to talk to everybody. To be truly effective, you have got to get specific. Step 1 is all about getting a laser focus on who you're really trying to reach. Answering these 3 questions is absolutely the key. And listen, this isn't just some marketing exercise, it's an empathy exercise. It helps you build a simple picture of your ideal donor. Once you understand who cares, what keeps them up at night, and how your mission makes them the hero, your entire communication strategy just transforms. So, look at how this actually plays out in the real world. Instead of some generic "help the kids" message, you can now speak directly to that retired teacher about making sure every child has the tools they need to learn. And all of a sudden, your cause isn't just a cause, it's their cause. It becomes the solution to a problem they already care deeply about.
Okay, so now you know exactly who you're talking to. The next question is, what are you going to say to grab their attention? Let's move on to step 2 and see how this all builds. We're going to create a donor magnet.
A donor magnet is actually really simple. It's just a free, valuable piece of content that your ideal donor would genuinely want. It could be a guide, a checklist, a little starter kit. The whole goal is to offer something so helpful that they are more than happy to give you their email address to get their hands on it. Now, this right here is a really critical mindset shift. Before you ever ask for a single dollar, you give something of value. This simple act starts the relationship off on a foundation of generosity and trust, not a transaction. It's a total game changer.
And here's a perfect example of this in action. A food bank could offer a guide just like this one. See how it works? It starts with a super practical list of needed items, then it connects emotionally with an impact story, and then it provides a really gentle prompt for more involvement. It perfectly solves the donor's problem, which is how can I help effectively, while connecting them directly to your mission.
All right, you've created a fantastic donor magnet. Awesome. But let's be real, it's pretty useless if nobody can find it. So step 3 is all about visibility. And you want to know the best part about this? It's completely free. The goal here is just to make your magnet impossible to miss. Put it right on your homepage, stick it in your social media bios, mention it in your posts. Think of it as your digital welcome mat, inviting all the right people to step inside. So, someone has downloaded your magnet and they've given you their email address. Success! But the journey is really just beginning. Now, in step 4, we're going to turn that initial flicker of interest into a genuine, lasting connection. So instead of a single, sudden ask for a donation, you guide them on a little journey. This 5-email sequence you're looking at here, it's designed to build trust systematically. You start with gratitude, then you spark their interest with a story, you show the real impact, you establish credibility, and only then, once that relationship is warm, do you make that final clear ask. The psychology behind it is simple. You're moving from being a stranger to a trusted partner before you ever ask for that commitment. All right, we've made it to the final step, and trust me, it's a powerful one. This is all about multiplying your impact by empowering the people who already believe in what you do.
Forget about expensive ad campaigns for a second. What's the most powerful marketing tool you have? It's word of mouth. This step is about activating your micro-ambassadors, your existing volunteers, your board members, your most passionate followers. A personal share from one of them is infinitely more authentic and trustworthy than any ad you could ever run.
And the key here is to make it incredibly easy for them to do it. Give them the exact text to just copy and paste. This simple script combines a really shocking statistic with a personal call to action. It literally takes them 10 seconds to share, but it extends your reach in ways you can't even imagine. So let's pull all of this together, shall we? These 5 steps, they aren't just a random collection of tactics. No, they form a cohesive, sustainable system for growing your donor base online.
These are the 5 pillars. It all starts with focus. Then it offers value. It makes sure you're visible. It builds relationships. And then it amplifies your message through your own community. See how each step just logically builds on the last one? It creates a reliable engine for bringing in new donors. And that brings us to the end. The real power of this whole system is that you can just start small. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What one simple, valuable resource could you create this week to start attracting your ideal donor and kickstart this entire process?